أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Respected viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My name is Professor Asif Ali Parvez and my program name is Holy Quran and Science. This is my presentation number 40 and I'm recording it from London, UK. Today I will talk about artificial superintelligence. So question is, what is artificial superintelligence? As most of you know, there's a lot of work going on in artificial intelligence, and this is a buzzword. Everybody knows about it, and I've made a program previous to this talking about the benefits of artificial intelligence. In this program, I will talk about the dangers of particularly artificial superintelligence, who we called as ASI. So what level of intelligence this will have? This will surpass human intelligence. It will be able to do creation, make things from scratch. It will have the ability to solve the problems and make decisions autonomously. And if it makes a mistake, it will improve itself. Like we humans do, when we make a mistake, we learn from a mistake and we improve. So the question is when it will be achieved. Now, there are different guesses. Some people think by turn of this century, so another 74 years left. My guess is it will be probably much quicker than that. Now, I want to quote a couple of quotes. So number one is from the President of Russian Federation, Vladimir Putin, and he says about artificial intelligence, it comes with colossal opportunities, but also threatens, but also threats that are difficult to predict. So even politicians don't know what artificial can do. Now I want to quote another from Elon Musk, who is the chief executive officer of Tesla cars and SpaceX. So he's a very high level technologist, if I can use that phrase. And he says, risk of something seriously dangerous happening in artificial intelligence. There is some chance that AI will kill us all. So this is the key word. AI will kill us all. And this is the warning from a man who knows technology inside out. Now I want to quote a verse from Holy Quran. Allah Ta'ala says, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Laqad khalaqnal insana fi ahsani taqweem. And its meanings are, surely we have created man in the best make. Surah 13, verse 5. So this is a declaration by God that human beings are made in the best make. No other creature is in the best make as we the humans are. Now I want to quote here what does best make means, that people who give rights of God and rights of human beings. And I'm quoting here an example of course Abdul Salam Saab, who was a brilliant scientist and he had brought a lot of new ideas and won the Nobel Prize. And he was also champion of science for the third world countries, and he cared for the humanity. This is the key word for me. Then God in Surah 13, the next verse, God says, Summa radadnahu asfala safilin. And this translation is that if he works iniquity, we reject him as the lowest of the low. Now, this is a very big warning if you think about it. God said, we made the human being the best make. But if they do things which he's not supposed to do, then he will become lowest to low. Now, obviously, in religious terms, that means that God has made up in the bad shape, and it's a job to do worship God and look after the humanity. And if we don't do that, then we will be lowest amongst the low. Now I want to quote another verse from Holy Quran. Allah Ta'ala says, وَالسَّمَاءَ رَفَعَ وَوَضَعَ الْمِيزَانَ Allah تَطْغَوْا فِي الْمِيزَانِ. And its translation is, and the heavens he has raised high and set up a balance. Now, key word is balance, that you may not transgress in the balance. So if I look at the universe, if I look at the system which God has created, including us, there is a balance. And it is verses Ar-Rahman, verse 8 and verse 9. Now, there is a warning, very, very clear warning for humanity that, oh, people, I have created a balance in this universe. And human beings, you are best creature. But I warn you, God says, that if you destroy this balance and you transgress this balance, then you will be in serious trouble. And because I'm talking of science and I'm talking of the robots here, so in my opinion, if we are developing the robots with artificial super intelligence, as I said, the intelligence more than the human beings, then that balance which God has created is going to be disturbed. And God has said, warning, clear cut warning is there. Do not do this. Because if you do this, you will be in serious trouble. Now, so what are the dangers of artificial superintelligence today? I'm talking. Now, artificial intelligence will take a lot of jobs which we currently do. They will be in the transport business, they will be in the teaching business, they will be in the health business. You name it, any business you can think about, AI, particularly if you become super intelligence AI, it will take over their jobs. What will happen when people have no jobs? There will be economic unrest in the world. And the gap between those nations and those people who have, like Western world, if I can say, who have lots of money, they will become richer and richer at the expense of other countries who, many African countries, many Asian countries, who don't have that kind of resources. That gap will become bigger and bigger. And when there is a big gap between the rich nations and the poor nations, the balance is ruined. And the result is wars, uh, dissatisfaction, all sorts of things. And I'm worried that these super intelligent robots will one day control the weapons of mass destruction. Today, they are in humans' control. Presidents of each country have control. But one day, these robots will take that control over. And these robots will have the power, if I can use that word, through social media and through other media. They will influence the governments. And governments will make, in my opinion, wrong decisions. And these robots will manage the society. And one nutshell, what I've written is, it looks to me robots will become master and we, the humans, will become their slave. Now, this is extremely, extremely dangerous situation. So what's happening today? If we look today, I'm recording it in July 2026, this program. There is a race going on between Western world, whose leader is America, and the Eastern world, whose leader is China. And billions of pounds of government money and private companies are spending to win this race. That's their aim. And what they are not thinking, what are the consequences of what they are doing? And nobody think of humanity. Everybody says, I want to be the winner. I don't care what happens to the rest of the world. I want to be winner. And this is the theme which If you look at the statements of the head of states of different countries, that's the statement which is coming out of their mouth. So question is this: what's the solution? And I go back to Holy Quran. Allah Ta'ala says in Surah Teen, Illallazina amanu wamilu salihati falam ajrun ghairu mamnoon. So this continuation with the previous verse says that a point will come when the humanity will become the lowest amongst the low. So what's the solution? In religious term, obviously it's very obvious. God says, believe in me and do good deeds as I have commanded you to do, which is fine. There's no discussion on this because this is abundantly clear, very clear statement. Because I'm talking about robots or super artificial intelligence. So what does these two words mean? Number one, amanu, and secondly, amilu salihah. That believe, number one, and number two, do take proper actions. So what are they? In my opinion, so as I said, first thing is we have to understand that there are dangers. And I've already made two quotes. So people do realize I'm not the only one who's raising this flag. There are hundreds of thousands of people who are concerned about this. Even the Secretary General of UNO have raised that could be a serious issue with this. So God says, first of all, understand, believe that we have a problem. And then God said, do good deeds, which means take appropriate action. So what is appropriate action in my opinion? My view is this, that it is time to set up an international organization. And I have given it a name as well. Nobody, as far as I know, have given this name before. And I call it International Artificial Intelligence Agency, IAIA. And what's the purpose of this agency? This could work probably under the umbrella of UNO or some international body. And their purpose is to control the unlimited development. Because as I said, we are developing like mad, without thinking what we are developing. And they should set up rules, regulation, and put some limits. Say, look, you can go this far. You can't go beyond this one because that's too dangerous for humanity. And in my opinion, time is now. If we don't do it now, then probably too late. Genie will be out of the bottle, and then you can't put it back in the bottle. And the whole purpose is to save the humanity. To me, this is very important. These companies, these leaders who are leading in IA, in artificial intelligence, are thinking in a selfish way. They have no worry what will happen to humanity. So we have to save the future generations. And I say this organization, whose name I have set is IAIA, is similar to IAEA. What was the IAEA? When the nuclear bombs were made, governments were worried that many, many nations will make nuclear bombs. Because it's so easy nowadays. I know the technology. I know the principle. Every physics graduate knows how to make an atom bomb, in theory at least. In practice, obviously, it's a totally different thing, but principles, everybody knows it. So what they did under the umbrella of UNO, they said we should not allow every nation or most of the nation to make atom bomb. Because as I said, technology is widely known. Any graduate student can work on it. So this agency has been very successful, in my opinion, although there have been some breaches and some political influences and many other things you can think about. But if you look at as a whole, there are 9 nations on this earth who have got nuclear weapons. USA, UK, France, China, and Soviet Federation, members of who are the veto power in Security Council. They all made atom bombs and hydrogen bombs a while ago. The latest people means in less than 25, 30 years or around that time scale. India, Pakistan, North Korea, and Israel. They have atom bombs. So Now I want to address this question. Is AGI, artificial genitals, is good or bad? In principle, it's nothing is good or nothing is bad. It's how you use it. That's the key word. How you use it. So my first sentence is great. I'm a AI person. I spent nearly 35 years of my life working with computers. So I know AI reasonably well. When it's working for humanity, it's marvelous. I admire it. And I'm, I'm in favor of this. However, in this presentation, I am warning the world that AGI, artificial general intelligence, is extremely dangerous and it is fatal for humanity. I deliberately use the word fatal because it will control humanity. And sorry, it's AGI should be AGI. I don't want AGI to be the master. I don't want humans to be the slaves. But AGI will reach to that point. Trust me. I'm saying this with a lot of passion because I know it. And not many people are so blunt, in expressing their views. I see the dangers, so I say it. And in my opinion, as I suggested, it can be controlled through this organization whose name I have given is IAIA, International Artificial Intelligence Agency. And I warn everybody on this earth, time is running out. And we need this IAIA now. If we left it for next 5-10 years, that's probably too late. Then there's not a lot we can do about it. This is the time to take some action. Now I must say, mine is just a lonely voice. I'm just a humble person living in London with no influence, with no followings. But if I see the danger, I feel it's my duty to warn the humanity. So, with great humbleness, I say I have done my job because I'm worried that our great grandchildren will say, when this AGI have taken over the humanity, say, was there not a one person who could realize the danger and come up with a solution? I must say there are lots, hundreds of thousands of people, in fact, who are realizing the dangers, but nobody is coming up with a solution. And I got this solution from Holy Quran because God says, number one, believe, and number two, do good deeds. If you do that, then you will get a lot of benefits. So I repeat myself, I have done my duty. Now it's up to my viewers because I think we need to pass this message to all your friends, to your community, to you people in authority, members of parliament, the governments, head of organization, and most important, media. And I personally think there should be a mass movement. We should force these big powers, America, China, and others, and big companies, Microsoft, OpenAI, and many more, to think of humanity first. Don't be selfish. Don't want to be a winner. Because I assure the whole world, if this kept on going, there will be no winners. And we as human beings will be the losers, whether they belong to a developed countries or underdeveloped countries. This is a universal problem and it's a universal challenge. I can hear the alarms bell ringing loud and clear. I can see the writing on the wall. Please listen to me and take some action. Distribute this message to anybody and everybody you know, because otherwise our great grandchildren will blame us that we were so selfish generation. We never thought of our great grandchildren. And today we are suffering because of the mistakes which today we are making, our generation, my generation is making. And they are not thinking of saving humanity. I once again say, with great humbleness, I have passed my message. That's maximum I can do. As I said, I'm a lonely voice, unknown voice, humble voice, but with a great passion and great sincerity, I'm saying this. God help us to do this. As you know, all these programs are related to electrons. So my next program will be I will discussing human ear. I don't know why two photos are coming, but let's not worry about that. So about human ear and how electron is playing a key role in it. Jazakallah khair. Thank you very much listening to me, and I hope you will get a message. And I request you, please, please share this message. Not because I am saying this. This message must go to the top, and they should start setting up, as I said, IAIA, International Agency, International Artificial Intelligence Agency. God bless you. Wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.